Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and we are the scouting staff for the Hula Bowl. Today I have with me one of the athletes that participated in that event this season. His name is Jalen Harris. He's an edge rusher out of Arizona. Nice to meet you, sir.
And nice being here. Thank you for having me.
So yeah, very good size edge rusher at that. And of course we invited you down to the Hula Bowl to showcase your talent, but let's take a step back and go ahead and kind of paint some of the picture for us, if you don't mind. Tell me where you're from and how you got to your university.
So I'm originally from Gilbert, Arizona, and it's an hour and a half from Tucson, Arizona, where I went to the University of Arizona. So my dad was a football player there. My mom was a basketball player there. And it was just, when it came to make a decision, it was a place I felt really comfortable with the coaching staff at the time.
Cool. So let's take it even further back there. You said you grew up in Gilbert, Arizona. And just kind of want to talk about your experience as a high school athlete. Can you elaborate a little bit there?
So I played basketball and football when I was younger, and starting out, I really didn't know which one I wanted to do. And when I was younger, I used to like basketball more, but as I got older and got to high school, I fell in love with football, and it was just something I wanted to do. And, I enjoyed being able to hit people, and I was also able to play receiver too. So that was fun, scoring touchdowns. So I really enjoyed that. And, my dad was my coach for a little bit. And so he pushed me really hard and he yelled at me and made sure, I knew what it took to be able to play at a high level, and also made sure I knew, I couldn't just do what everybody else does and think I'm going to be a good player. I have to be able to do the extra work and put in the time it takes to be great.
Interesting. So, I mean, obviously we had already mentioned that your dad had played in the league. I know for certain that he played for the Colts and the Bears, that being your dad, Sean Harris. And just kind of want to get your feedback as to maybe perhaps how that has influenced you in your career, having that legacy to maybe, I don't know, continue. So give me some feedback.
I would say at first when I was younger, he would tell me things. I let it go in one ear and out the other. I wasn't like I was like, oh, he doesn't really know what he's talking about. Like, yeah, whatever. But I feel like as I got older, and, as my time at Arizona went by, I realized like how hard what he did was, and, just being able to go through it. And I noticed I was taking what he would say for granted sometimes, because there's a lot of people who don't have that experience. And so I just started to realize, he knows what he's talking about. He played at a place that I want to be at, and, I'm working hard to get to. And so I just realized, what he says, it has weight, and I need to listen and take that.
Well, I mean, I suppose we don't always listen to our parents growing up. I mean, we're kids and, make mistakes and all that, and try and find our own way. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I think it's great to, be able to have somebody who has been there and is part of your family and is able to help coach you. Obviously was your coach there for a little bit, and really helped mold you into the player that you are. And so eventually you found your way there to Arizona. Was it always going to be Arizona? I mean, what was there any other prospects, for you coming out of high school?
Really, like down high school, it was down to Notre Dame and Washington pretty much for other places I wanted to go. And then I chose Arizona, and, that was the place I wanted to be.
So, what makes Arizona so special to you? I mean, when you look at your experience there, just as a student, walking around campus, going to classes, what makes it special for you?
It's a nice campus. The community gets behind you there, and they support you, whether it's good or bad. And, just being able to walk around campus, everything you need is on campus. You don't have to go super far to get anywhere. The facilities and all that is on campus. There's no bad weather there, so it's a great place to live. And yeah, I just enjoyed my time there a lot.
And what were you able to accomplish there as a student? I'm assuming you've already graduated at least once, right?
So I ended up graduating in 3 years with my bachelor's in criminal justice, and so I did a little bit of work in trying to get my master's in educational leadership. So I still have to finish that up.
Interesting. So criminal justice, where do you think that might lead you, once your football career is over?
Hopefully, when I'm done playing NFL, I could try to work my way up maybe into the FBI. So that's something I'm pretty interested in.
Wow, that would be certainly interesting. So, hey, you never know. I mean, it's just kind of good to be able to get those degrees and kind of save them for whenever you will eventually get to them. But obviously, at this point, man, I mean, you're pursuing the dream. Trying to get into the league. Let's talk about some football. I mean, obviously, an edge rusher who really has some great size to him. I mean, about 6'4", almost 260. Some long arms, about 34 inches, 82-inch wingspan. Those are some of the numbers that we were able to obtain while you were at the Hula Bowl. And so you were able to do some great things there at Arizona. Talk about how you were utilized there in their defense.
I would say so. I've had a lot of different coaches over the time. So over the time, I've been utilized a lot of different ways. This past year, I played mainly in, and I played in the 4-eye a little bit, and I also dropped a little bit. So I did a little bit of everything.
And so, what do you feel separates you as a prospect? I mean, there's a lot of edge rushers out there, man. So, what do you think separates you from everybody else?
I'd say, the stats didn't show it, but I think I'm one of the better pass rushers there is. And I don't think, my production showed that. And, I'm hoping to pick that up at the next level. But I think that's something I'm really good at. And also my effort in running to the ball.
Well, I mean, we certainly felt like you were one of these guys who everybody really needed to know. I mean, yeah, like you said, maybe the stats didn't really tell the story, but I mean, you really look for guys that have the tools, to go to the next level. And so we extended an offer for you to come to the Hula Bowl, invited you. Remember, I think I was the part of the crew that helped pick you up from the airport. But talk about your experience overall at the Hula Bowl, whether it be some of the activities, the practices, or any other things that you were able to do during your time in Orlando.
We had a great time there. I was able to bond and build relationships with the other defensive ends and other D linemen. So I just had a great time, and it allowed me to see what else is out there, what other competition is out there, and let me compete against some great guys. And so we had a lot of fun, a lot of competing. We worked hard and individual, and coach pushed us to be physical. Gave us great tools to be able to take with us to the next level. And I had a great experience there, and I will take a lot of the things I learned there moving forward.
Let's give a shout out to a couple of those guys. Can you, I guess, tell about some of those names that you were able to connect with and build relationships with?
So, well, up front, I want to first shout out, the players, Brock Martin, DJ Coleman, Spencer Wage. We had 4 edge rushers there, and it was great. And then Coach Samsula also, he was able to be a big help to us, and he told us if we ever need anything, just let him know. And he was told us we all have the ability, we have to believe in ourselves.
Tom Sula, definitely a legend. Being able to be coached by him, definitely some great, some great opportunity there at the Hula Bowl. Also sitting down and actually talking with some NFL scouts. I'm sure you've sat down with several of them in interviews. Give me a ballpark as in maybe perhaps how many you sat down with and how that whole experience was for you.
I would say probably about 13, 14 scouts, and
Wow. Okay.
yeah, they wanted to know about my personality, wanted to know what I thought I could improve on and things I do good. And, we also got to watch some of my game film and break down stuff and what I think is coming on plays and what are my favorite plays. So it was definitely a learning experience, and, some stuff I think I can improve on in that process.
So what was some of the feedback that you were getting from those guys?
I would say, they say they like my length. I showed the ability to be able to pass rush, and some of the feedback also was, I need to get stronger, which is something I knew, and it's something I'm embracing. And I'm just every day working here to get stronger and improve my game, so I can be a not only a good player at the next level, but a great player. And I'm just looking for that opportunity to be able to perform, whether that's on special teams or at my position.
Well, I mean, you definitely had a lot of guys very interested in you at the Hula Bowl. And we'll see where that takes you in the coming weeks and months as we approach the draft. But I do want to kind of get your feel for this whole experience right now. I mean, obviously, dude, you're an NFL draft prospect. How are you taking all that in? I mean, is that something that you can embrace right now? I mean, what's the whole vibe for you in that whole situation?
I would say, definitely something that I'm embracing. You can't take it for granted. Everybody doesn't get to do this, and this is an experience everybody gets. But at the same time, I have high expectations for myself, and I don't think I've met those expectations to this point. And so I'm just working to, reach higher and strive for greatness and just be better.
Well, cool. Well, I mean, at the very least, I mean, having a good sense of self-awareness, knowing what you need to improve upon, and really putting forth the effort and drive to get there. So definitely think that's a great thing about you. Jalen, when we, I guess, take a look at the entirety of your career and even your experience at the Hula Bowl, what are you going to remember most about your college career? Is there maybe a game or a play or a moment that is going to stick with you for the rest of your life?
I would say definitely beating Arizona State this year. We haven't beat them in the past since I've been here. So, it was our last game of the year, and it was just something I'll forever be a part of me, beating them, because it's a big rivalry. And I was able to get a strip sack that game. So, that'll always stick with me.
Cool. Was that one of the plays that they pulled up in those interviews, or was it something else?
No, we watched other games, so we didn't get to that game.
No, it's all right. I just, figured that'd be a good one to look up for people that want to
Yep.
see your talent. So, Jalen, let's take a moment. I do want to meet you outside this game a little bit. So, whether it be your hobbies or interests or passions or what have you, tell us something about yourself that tell us something interesting maybe that you just kind of want to share about yourself.
Recently I've gotten into yoga. When I was younger, my parents always tried to get me to do yoga, and I wasn't really that interested. But it's kind of something that's allowed me to calm down and be able to, it helps with the process of taking care of my body. And so, being able to calm down and take care of my body, and it helps with my flexibility. Flexibility is also a big thing that I need to improve on. So being able to do that, I try to do it in the morning and at night. And so that just helps me. And then I also, I have a younger brother also. Plays football at Arizona, and we like to watch highlights of our favorite defensive players, and we'll send each other highlights. Oh, did you see what he did right here? Like, we'll just send each other clips and watch people on YouTube talk about their processes and stuff. So that's just fun to also do.
Cool. Give me something that's not football, man. Maybe like a favorite movie or something fun that's not football that maybe you're interested in.
I like to one of my favorite shows is Game of Thrones, so that was something I was really interested in. And I didn't really like how they ended it, but I think it's a
that's
show.
what I've heard from most people.
Yeah.
Trying to think of maybe some other things. If you have the opportunity to have a cheat meal, what is that one meal for you? Whether it be a snack or a full-blown meal, like do you have a favorite maybe place there in Arizona to go to, or a family meal that you love to partake?
I have to go probably my mom's mac and cheese. I love that. So anytime, she's gonna make some mac and cheese, I like that, some yams. So really just soul food. I love that.
Gotta give a shout out to mom. So I love
Yeah.
mom for that one. Jalen, I know you're practicing right now at Test in New Jersey.
Yes.
And your pro day is going to be when's your pro day going to happen?
March 16th.
So March 16th, something for us to look forward to. What are some of your goals or aspirations or things that you are trying to showcase whenever that date rolls around?
Just prove, I'm a all around guy. I want to show that I'm strong, but I'm also fast and I have quick twitch. So that's just something, I want to show that, I'm not just a third and long guy. He'll be able to hold up in the run, but he can also pass rush. So I just want to, show that and that I'm a good athlete.
Right. So, hey, Jalen, as we start to wind things down, I mean, I want to make sure to give you one last shot to talk to some of these scouts, man. I mean, I know you sat down with over a dozen of them at the Hula Bowl, and probably more and more are going to be sitting down with you at your pro day and such. But go ahead and hit them with your one last pitch as to why they need to sign you, draft you, and bring you into their franchise. So go ahead and finish with that.
I would say I'm just a guy, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I want to play. I want to win. I don't want to just be a part of a team. I want to play. And, whether that's special teams or, on the field. And, you're going to get a guy who's going to come in and compete and, who wants it. And, I don't want to just be a good player. I want to be a great player. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
Definitely a dude that passes the eye test for sure, but certainly a guy who's very competitive, like you had mentioned. And buddy, I wish you nothing but the best in this process. I mean, the process is a process right now. We just kind of have to go through with it. But again, you take care, right?
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Once again, we got Jalen Harris. He's a defensive end out of Arizona. Definitely check him out.
All righty. Have a good one.